Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well and welcome to our Andor episode 11 breakdown / review video here. We're going to hop right on into it. It should go without saying that yes, there are going to be spoilers ahead here, so if you haven't seen any of the Andor episodes here, go click off the video here now, go watch it. It's absolutely amazing. Head back on over here. As I had mentioned in our reaction initial video here on the channel, reacting to Andor episode 11 with those kind of first thoughts and opinions, those first kind of emotions there, something I heavily mentioned in this in that video there, I want to reiterate here in this video rather, is the way that this episode is the introduction here to the finale arc here. The finale arc only consisting of those two episodes, episode 11 that we already have here now, and then next week's episode, episode 12, which can technically be seen as the finale. However, episode 11, as I had mentioned in that reaction video, does a lot into the regards of wrapping up a lot of the different events that happened in the previous episode, with episode 10 there regarding Marva's death here, and now seen fully in this episode here. Very sad. I think it's going to be a little bit sadder as we continue on here. I think Cassian is definitely going to head back over to Ferrix, where he's going to actually get caught. However, I think that Cinta is going to come in and actually like save him and help out there a little bit there. And I think even like Luthen and Saw Gerrera would actually show up and have like a first like full-on kind of like Rebels versus Empire type of battle there. However, this is something I want to dive deeper on into in a separate feature video here on the channel. So hit the subscribe button and join us here today, as I had mentioned in the reaction video, kind of briefly touching on that kind of like little bit of a fan theory there as well, talking about the actual initial episode here on itself here as well, regarding everything that kind of like went down in this episode, recapping it here and then kind of breaking it down. Although with the Andor show, there isn't a lot that you're missing. There isn't a lot to break down, especially when you compare it to other shows like the Book of Boba Fett or the Mandalorian or Obi-Wan Kenobi. However, aside from all that, in this video I wanted to take a read here from IGN's article, their overall initial review here, with maybe a few different things that you might have missed throughout this episode here as well. I'll have it fully linked in the description down below. As I read, episode 11 of Andor does exactly what it needed to: move its great cast of characters into position and sprinkle in a flourish of action, while also keeping the intrigue and tension rumbling along, leaving the series on a knife edge ahead of its finale coming next week. Tony Gilroy's take on the Star Wars universe continues to excel, first beginning with his Rogue One movie, and now with the Andor show here, achieving its ambitious visions thanks to the standout scripts and the fantastic actors interpreting them as well. Following their heroic escape from Nakarnia 5, we find Cassian and Melshi literally clinging to freedom as they avoid overhead Imperial attention. Excitingly, much like the audience, they have no real idea of where they're heading next, their initial escape plan coming to a sticky end after their best Maverick and Rooster impression is thwarted by their underestimation of an alien race, the sort of ignorance normally reserved for the Empire in Andor in this case, or really any other Star Wars show for that matter. It's a smart reinforcement of the idea that both sides share qualities in each other. The Imperial's complexity that lets Cassian escape in turn lands him in another net after displaying some of that himself there as well. Essentially just seeing that how the article is saying that the Imperials can be dumb and so can our heroes in certain cases depending on what it is. Luckily, the captors, these big troll-like aliens, are rather nice and show mercy in a rare light-hearted scene that enjoyably shows flashes of the original Star Wars trilogy, such as when Chewie triggers an Ewok trap on Andor. Marva's passing is unquestionably sudden. Fiona Shaw was superb in the role, and it can't help but feel a little bit odd that we didn't get any more of her rather than that. That being said, the last time we saw her was in the memorable, emotionally impactful scene in episode 7 with Cassian, one that was already a serious highlight. But now it's twice as hard knowing it was the final time they actually did speak together and had an interaction together. It speaks a lot about the consistency of high-quality writing of Andor, that even when the words are delivered by a literal robot, they still manage to pull on the heartstrings, that they're being B2. The stuttering B2 droid may have been out of the action since the series' earlier episodes, but undoubtedly makes its mark here by not wanting to leave Marva's home, even after she has has for the last time, a sentiment Cassian himself may well rue not sharing. Still under the thumb of Imperial torture, Bix is a husk of her former self, visibly exhausted and barely able to move or speak, truly showing the evilness of the Empire, drained as well and just absolutely out of it at that there as well. Mon Mothma also appears to be a little bit more drained than ever, rather emotionally, reminiscing about a brighter past and fearful of the future that awaits her daughter and her overall family and for herself as well. It's the first time we've seen a glimmer of dejection in a normally strong force for good. Both characters continue to be expertly portrayed by Adria Arjona, who's Bix, and despite frustratingly having increasingly less to do, and the Genevieve O'Reilly, who is the reflection of Mon Mothma. A resilient one that is weighed down by the oppressive nature of the Empire, that there being Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma's tearful admittance to Vel that she may have to use her daughter as a bargaining chip is a gut punch for a moment, made all the waiter by Nicholas Britell's swelling score. The overall music in this overall show has been quite amazing. Vel continues to develop as one of the series' more intriguing characters at that. I think maybe a little bit more interesting than per se Mon Mothma herself. The way that she glides from intimidating to heartfelt to cheery across both minutes and scenes let her shine as one of Andor's most malleable tools, and is a testament to Faye Marseille's multi-faced abilities as an overall actor. Vel's character really does resemble a lot to do with Luthen as well, portraying those multi-faced personalities, as Luthen being a mere shop owner of a luxury type of store, and then kind of turning double-faced to a more colder and brutal type of rebellion hero. Same can be easily applied to Vel at that even more. Further adding star quality are Stellan Skarsgård and Forrest Whitaker. I can't get enough of these two. Andor oozes class whenever they are on screen together, and their highly strung exchange this time around is no different. Luthen's show and tell display of paranoia is a masterstroke, and Saw's response of "let's call it war" is delivered with real spine-tingling energy. The acting on both of these guys are just out of this world. I sincerely just cannot get enough of these two characters together. Forrest Whitaker, I love to see him. I think he's amazing in just about everything that he does. The Battle of Wits, followed by an unexpected but thrilling space battle, finally makes for an incredibly entertaining last 10 minutes of this episode. There's nothing Luthen loves more than an entangled negotiation with the unlawful Empire. It also turns out that he's just as handy in a dogfight too. The morphing of his ship into a spinning widget impersonation of Darth Maul's lightsaber is a particular delight. We've seen this in the trailer and everybody was wondering when, where, why, who, what type of scenario, and to finally see it in the show is honestly quite amazing. Despite a stellar recent run of episodes, it has been a bit of a shame that Kyle Solar's Cyril Karn has been kept in the backlines. Such an engaging presence at the beginning, but he continues to slouch further down in the incel pathway, even regressing all the way back to the teenager who doesn't want to leave bed stage, where we are met with him again in this episode. This following on from his trouble stalker behavior solidifies him as a truly desperate character, one looking for acknowledgement wherever he can find it, even with his own mother's eager to mock him. A desperate person can offer to be a dangerous one. Nonetheless, Solar is quite great as an actor in portraying this character. I just wish that we would be able to see a little bit more with Cyril Karn, although it does seem that they're setting something up quite big for him in the episode 12, the finale there, as he snuck back into the house to steal his mother's, I'm guessing, Star Wars credit card, or I don't know, her money or something like that, and to do what with, I think we'll find out in the next episode. I will also say in those regards, regarding Cyril Karn and Dead Romero as well, I'm a little bit disappointed because we had covered it here on the channel that these two characters would be interacting a little bit more here, especially in these final two episodes, and well, they didn't do anything together in this episode, and at that, Dead Romero didn't do a whole lot either in this episode as well, which I was a little bit disappointed with. In those regards, a lot of other Star Wars fans have kind of spoken about the idea that they're kind of disappointed with where Mon Mothma's story has kind of gone here in these recent episodes. It went from quite telling and entertaining, but now it's just a bit slower. It's quite toned down now, and it really hasn't gone anywhere all that much in the recent episodes, so I'm kind of curious on where they expect to go here in the finale, and until we get to season 2 with her character. However, this video is not to bash on every other little detail and thing here with this episode. Aside from those two things, everything else about this not only episode but overall show has been beyond amazingly incredible. Those are my only small two complaints here about this episode, and I guess initially the overall show at that there as well. As the article goes on to continue, a revolutionary first and Sun second, Cassian is absent for large chunks of episode 11 as the characters that orbit him move into position. Diego Luna does a lot in a short amount of time, however proving with the aftermath of one short phone call how great of a facial actor he really is. A tearful look shared with the horizon, telling you everything you need to know about what he's feeling inside. News of Marva's death has spread quickly through the galaxy, and with multiple different parties expecting Cassian to attend the funeral here at this point in the finale, a colossal course seems all but certain in next week's final. This, combined with Saw and Luthen's apparently ill-fated mission, means all of the pieces are starting to firmly fit together to create a comprehensively constructed thriller jigsaw overall finale and show at that. It's all set up perfectly, and a real achievement of any of those prequel series to hold the amount of tension that Andor does in its palm. Apart from knowing the fate of a select one or two characters in this overall, I guess, show, being Andor, Melshi, and I guess Saw Gerrera, anything could happen, and it's thanks to the brilliantly built episodes like this that the explosive moments and its sandwich between shine so bright. From there, that is where the article concludes, and as I had mentioned, I have this full article linked in the description down below. Of course, I want all of your thoughts and opinions on the overall Andor show as a whole, your thoughts and opinions on Andor episode 11 as we're moving into the finale, and what are you wanting to see here with the finale and next week, episode 12. That's it for season 2, and that's it until what we're predicting for 2024 with season 2 of the Andor show. So I'd love to hear what you guys all think in the comments down below. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.